Alright guys, in today's video we have some incredibly exciting PlayStation news to go over and talk about. I'm sure many of you are well aware of what this news is, but it's definitely something that we have to discuss here. That is the fact that Sony has officially acquired Housemarque as a first-party PlayStation studio. Something that I think many of us have been hoping for some time, and it's nice to finally get this announcement. So before we get into it, do me a favor, hit that like button to help the video out or show your excitement about this newest studio acquisition that PlayStation just made. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. We're on our way to 100,000 subscribers here on the channel, so I would definitely appreciate that. But we're reading here from the PlayStation blog, and the title reads, "Welcoming Housemarque to the PlayStation Studios family." Now this was written up by Herman Hulst, the head of PlayStation Studios. And it says, "Today, I'm thrilled to welcome a new member to the PlayStation Studios family. I've been a fan of Housemarque since the studio's early days when they introduced Super Stardust HD to PlayStation fans. Housemarque's recent release of Returnal proves the studio is one with incredible vision, capable of creating memorable new games that resonate with our community. This addition enhances the creative force of PlayStation Studios, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for Housemarque. Welcome to the family, Housemarque." Now, a nice little write-up from Herman Hulst, but we also have the co-founder and managing director of Housemarque giving us a write-up of their own, letting us know what this acquisition means to Housemarque and what it means for the future of their studio and the fans of the studio. So it says, "Today is a big day for Housemarque, and it has been over 26 years in the making. Our strong partnership with Sony Interactive Entertainment started with Super Stardust HD on PlayStation 3, and since then we have made arcade-inspired games for all of the PlayStation platforms. With Returnal for PS5, our most recent release, our biggest foray into third-person action gaming solidified our voice and brand in the industry as delivering unique and quality player experiences. We are so excited to finally join the PlayStation Studios family. This gives our studio a clear future and a stable opportunity to continue delivering on gameplay-centric approaches while still experimenting with new methods of narrative delivery and pushing the boundaries of this modern art form. Locally here in Helsinki, this also means that we will officially expand the PlayStation family to a growing industry hub and secure the legacy of the oldest game studio in Finland. Finally, what this means for our fans. We at Housemarque are gamers, and we have grown from the need to perfect and tinker with facets of games that we have found most fascinating. We are also not known for shying away from running our own course and trying out new combinations. With the backing of SIE and its family of studios supporting us, we can truly grow into our place in the industry and show what Housemarque can create with no limitations. We can't wait to show everyone what will be in store in the upcoming years, and we hope to usher in more lasting memories and exhilarating titles for the next quarter century and beyond." And so that's the entire write-up on the PlayStation blog, and I'm really liking what I'm hearing from both Herman Hulst as well as the co-founder and managing director of Housemarque. I'm sure this is a very big day for Housemarque, and in my opinion, it's very well earned, especially after what we experienced with Returnal. Now, I want to tell you right off the bat here that I am not completely surprised by this acquisition. The reason why I say that is because it seemed like Housemarque for the longest time would be a perfect studio to be folded in to PlayStation as a new first-party studio. This is an acquisition that, in my opinion, was a long time coming, and especially after Returnal, I specifically remember thinking to myself, man, I really hope Sony does acquire Housemarque, because what they did here with Returnal is very impressive. And it's not to say that their past games haven't been impressive or haven't been good. Obviously, they're held in very high regard, but they're more arcade-like. And so something we talked about with Returnal for a while was how this is seemingly their first time really embracing AAA development and trying to make something much bigger in size, scale, and scope. And it was very impressive to me when we saw Returnal sitting at an 86 on Metacritic, just getting universal praise from critics and, everybody else who's playing it. You just heard nothing but good things. I played the game myself. I beat it multiple times. I have about 95 hours of total playtime in the game, and it's an incredible experience. And I'm really happy to see that Housemarque is going to be a first-party studio, because what this means is they're going to be able to do even better than what we saw here with Returnal, than what we got with Returnal. There was so much anxiety, I guess you could say, surrounding Returnal, between the price point, the fact that this is their first time making a AAA game. People were nervous about the quality of it. Is it going to be enough? And I think at this point, it's very clear that it was a big success for not only Housemarque, but with Sony, enough so that they're like, we want to acquire you guys. We want to bring you in as a first-party studio. And again, this is just going to ensure that whatever Housemarque does next is going to be even better than what we got with Returnal, because now they have the full backing and full support of PlayStation, and it's a very big deal. So I also want to say here something very important, and that is the fact that it's so great as a PlayStation fan to see Sony pursuing these studios that we have been hoping to see them pursue for some time now. We've been talking for seemingly what feels like years now about some studios that Sony should definitely consider acquiring, and especially now with the major acquisitions that Microsoft is making and the overall consolidation of the gaming industry. We've been talking about it more and more, about how there are just these studios that stand out so clearly, where it's like they have to be folded in to the first party family. It just makes sense. It would be crazy if they weren't. And I also think it would be risky if they were left out there as free agents. I'm really glad to see that Sony locked in Housemarque, and what makes this entire story even more interesting is that apparently Sony may have another surprise acquisition announcement, and unfortunately it may have leaked early. So this is reading from Push Square, and the title says Sony acquisition of Bluepoint Games supposedly leaked by image mistake. It says, geez, you wait weeks for Sony to do something, and then it decides to drop several megatons out of the blue on a sunny Tuesday morning. Having already confirmed the acquisition of Returnal developer Housemarque, it would appear that the Japanese giant's immediate plans don't stop there. When the Housemarque news broke, PlayStation Japan somehow managed to upload the wrong image on Twitter. Instead of showing that Housemarque is now part of PlayStation Studios, the image highlights Bluepoint Games. The tweet was quickly deleted and replaced. This heavily suggests that another acquisition announcement is incoming, with remake specialist Bluepoint Games also being snapped up by Sony. And again, it's a buy that makes total sense. Bluepoint is the studio behind the fantastic Shadow of the Colossus remake and the Demon's Souls PS5 remake. So I wanted to be sure to acknowledge this, because this to me could be a mistake, but man, it's looking like it's not. It's looking to me like Sony is going to have a string of acquisition announcements starting with Housemarque, and then maybe tomorrow, or maybe later this week, or maybe a little bit later down the line, we're going to hear that Sony also acquired Bluepoint Games. Now, we do need to acknowledge that this is not official yet, but it's pretty much the closest thing to an official leak that we're going to get. It seems like, Sony's Japan Twitter account really messed this up here. But I can't say that I'm upset about it, because the idea that Sony isn't going to stop with Housemarque is amazing to me. The idea that Sony would also acquire Bluepoint Games as a first-party developer, it's something that, in my opinion, needed to happen quite some time ago. I told you guys, it seems likely to me that Sony, even though they are all about organic growth, and I do think that these are, I guess, what you would consider organic acquisitions. By that I mean, these are acquisitions that make the most sense with studios that they've been partnered with for years and have a long history with. But I told you guys, I think Sony's going to have to, by necessity, start picking up more studios, because if they don't, with the way the gaming industry is going, someone else will. And the idea that Sony could lose out on Housemarque as a first-party studio, potentially Bluepoint Games and others, would be terrible in my opinion. And I think that Sony is aware of this. So I'm very happy to see this. I hope that the Bluepoint Games leak is legitimate, and I hope that this is a sign that we can expect to find out that Bluepoint is also being folded in as a first-party studio. But all in all, I'm very much happy to hear that Housemarque is now part of the first-party PlayStation family. I think they're going to fit in perfectly, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what they do next, because Returnal was amazing as is. To think about what they could do with the full backing and support of Sony, just gets me even more excited. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Again, leave it a like if you did. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.